Hey, Stella. Hey there, Stella, baby.
Don't holler at me like that.
Catch.
What?
Meat.
Hey, Stanley, where you going?
Bowling.
Can I come watch?
Come on.
I'll be over soon. Hello, Eunice. How are you?
I'm all right. Can you tell Steve to get him a poor boy sandwich? Because there's nothing left here.
Now, what was that package he threw at her?
You hush now. What's the matter, honey? You lost?
Oh, they told me to take a streetcar named Desire, transfer to one called Cemeteries, and then ride 6 blocks and get off at Elysian Fields.
Well, that's where you're at now.
At Elysian Fields?
This here's Elysian Fields.
Well, they mustn't have understood what number I wanted.
Well, what number are you looking for?
632.
Well, honey, you don't have to look no further.
This? Can this be her home?
She's got the downstairs, and I've got the up.
Oh, she's out.
You notice that bowling alley around the corner?
I'm not sure I did.
Well, that's where she's at, watching her husband bowl. Want to leave your stuff here and go find her?
No.
I'll go tell you, Cup.
Thanks. Well,
Want to go inside and make yourself home until they get back?
well, how could I do that?
I told you we own the place, so I can let you in. Oh, it's kind of messed up right now, but when it's clean, it's real sweet.
Is it?
Uh-huh, I think so. So you're Stella's sister?
Yes.
And you're from Mississippi, huh?
Yes, thanks for letting me in.
Ponada, as the Mexicans say. Stella spoke of you.
Oh, did she?
She showed me a picture of your home place, the plantation.
That's Belle Reve.
A great big place with white columns. Sure must be a job to keep up a place like that.
Yes, well, if you'll excuse me, I'm just about to drop.
Well, sure, honey. Why don't you just sit yourself down?
What I meant was I'd like to be alone.
Well, I don't need a wall of bricks to fall on me.
Oh, I didn't mean to be rude. It's just that
I'll drop out the bowling alley and I'll hustle her up.
say, what a convenient location and such. Precious lamb, you haven't said a word to me.
You haven't given me the chance to, honey.
Oh, all right, then you talk. Open your pretty little mouth and talk while I look around for some liquor. I know you've got to have some liquor on the place. Where can it be? I wonder. Oh, I spy.
You sit down, let me pour the drinks. I don't know what we've got to mix with. Maybe Coke's nice, but...
No Coke for me, honey. Not with my nerves tonight. Now, where's,
Stanley. Bowling, he loves it. They're having a tournament. Oh, found some soda.
Oh, just water, baby, to chase it. Now, I don't want you to think that your sister has turned into a drunkard. She's just all shaken up and hot and tired and dirty. Now, honey, I want you to sit down and explain this place to me. What on earth are you doing in a place like this?
Now, Blair.
Oh, I'm not going to be hypocritical. I'm going to be honestly critical. Never in my worst dreams could I picture... Oh, only Poe, only Mr. Edgar Allan Poe could do it justice. And out there, I suppose, is the ghoul-haunted woodland of where?
No, honey. Those are the L&N tracks.
Now, seriously, honey, putting all joking aside, why didn't you write me? Why didn't you tell me? Honey, why didn't you let me know?
Tell you what, Blanche?
Why, that you had to live in these conditions.
Aren't you being a little intense about it? Oh, it's not that bad at all. New Orleans isn't like other cities.
Well, this has got nothing to do with New Orleans. You might as well see that... Oh, forgive me, blessed baby. The subject is closed.
Thanks.
You're all I've got in this world, and you're not happy to see me.
Why, Blanche, Blanche, you know that's not true.
Oh, I'd forgotten how quiet you are.
You never did give me the chance to say much, honey. So I just got in the habit of being quiet around you.
Well, I guess that's a good habit to get into. You haven't asked me yet how I happened to get away from the school before the spring term ended.
Well, I figured you'd volunteer that information if you wanted to tell me.
You thought I'd been fired?
No, Blanche. I thought you might have resigned.
I was just so exhausted by all I'd been through. My nerves just broke. I was on the verge of lunacy almost. So Mr. Graves, the high school superintendent, he suggested that I take a leave of absence. I couldn't fit all those details into the wire. All this buzzes right through me and feels so good.
Would you like another?
One's my limit.
Sure.
You haven't said a word about my appearance, honey.
Blanche, you look just fine.
Oh, God love you for a liar. Daylight never exposed so total a ruin. But you put on some weight. Yes, you're just as plump as a little partridge. And it's so becoming to you.
Now, Blanche.
Yes, it is, or I wouldn't say it. You just have to watch a little bit around the hips. Now, honey, would you turn around for me?
Not now,
You
Blanche.
hear me? I said turn around. Oh, you messy child. You spilled something on that collar. And with your hair, you ought to get it cut in a feather bob with your dainty features. Stella, you have a maid, don't you?
Oh, no. With only 2 rooms, it's very...
2 rooms, did you say?
Yes, Blanche. This one and...
And the other one? I'm just gonna take one tiny little nip more, just to put the stopper on, so to speak. And then I want you to put the bottle away. Put it away so I won't be tempted. Here you go, honey. Now I want you to take a look at my figure. I haven't put on 1 ounce in 10 years. I weigh now what I weighed the summer you left Bear Reeve. The summer Daddy died and you left us.
It's just incredible, Blanche. How well you're looking.
Well, Stella, with only 2 rooms, I don't see where you're going to put me.
Oh, we're gonna put you right here.
Oh, really? What kind of a bed's this? One of those collapsible things?
Does it feel all right?
Oh, wonderful, honey. I don't like a bed that gives much. But there's no door in between the 2 rooms, and with Stanley, will it be decent?
Well, Stanley is Polish, you know.
Oh, yes. That's something like Irish, isn't it? Well, I brought some nice clothes to meet all your lovely friends in.
I'm afraid you won't think they're lovely.
Well, what are they like?
Oh, they're Stanley's friends.
Polacks?
They're mixed lot.
Heterogeneous types.
Oh, yes, types. Types is right.
Well, anyway, I brought some nice clothes and I'll wear them. Stella, I guess you're hoping I'll say I'll put up at a hotel.
No.
But I'm not going to put up at a hotel. I've got to be near you, Stella. I have to be with people. I just can't be alone because, as you might have already noticed, I'm not very well.
You do seem a bit nervous or something, honey.
Stella, will Stanley like me or will I just be a visiting in-law? I couldn't stand that, Stella.
Oh, you'll get along just fine together. If you'll just try not to compare him with men we went out with at home.
Well, is he so different?
Yes, a different species.
What's he like?
Oh, you can't describe someone you're in love with. Here's a picture of him.
Oh, an officer.
A master sergeant in the engineer corps. Those are decorations.
Well, he must have had those on when you met him.
I assure you I wasn't just blinded by all that brass. But of course there were things to adjust myself to later on.
Such as his civilian background. How did he take it when you told him I was coming?
Stanley doesn't know yet.
You haven't told him?
Well, he's on the road a good deal.
Oh, he travels?
Yes.
Good. I mean, isn't it?
I can hardly stand it when he's away for a night.
Why, Stella!
When he's away for a week, I nearly go wild.
Gracious.
And when he comes back, I cry in his lap like a baby.
Well, I guess that is what it meant by being in love. Stella, I haven't asked you the things you probably thought I was going to ask you. So when I do tell you these things, I expect you to be understanding.
What, Blanche?
Well, you're going to reproach me. You're just bound to reproach me. But before you do, take into consideration. You left. I stayed and struggled. You came to New Orleans to make a living for yourself, but I stayed at Belle Reve and tried to hold things together. I'm not meaning this in any reproachful way, but all the burden descended on my shoulders.
The best I could do was make my own living, Blanche.
Oh, I know. But you are the one that left Belle Reeve, not I. I stayed and fought for it, bled for it, almost died for it.
Stop this hysterical outburst and tell me what's happened. What do you mean, fought and bled? What kind?
Oh, I knew it, Stella. I knew you would take this attitude about it.
About what? Please.
The loss. The loss.
Honey. Belle Reeve? Lost, is it?
Yes, Stella.
But how'd it go? What happened?
You're a fine one to ask me how it went.
Liz.
You're a fine one to stand there accusing me of it.
Liz!
I took the blows on my face and my body. All of those deaths. The long parade to the graveyard. Father, Mother Margaret, that dreadful way. So big with it, she couldn't even be put in a coffin, but had to be burned like rubbish. You came home just in time for the funerals, and funerals are quiet. But death, not always. Sometimes their breathing is hoarse. Sometimes it rattles. Sometimes they cry out to you, "Don't let me go." Even the old sometimes say, "Don't let me go." As if you could stop them. Funerals are quiet with pretty flowers, and oh, what gorgeous boxes they pack them away in. Unless you were there at the bedside and they cried out to you, "Hold me," you'd never suspect there was struggle for breath and bleeding. Oh, you didn't dream, but I saw. And now you sit there telling me with your eyes that I let the place go. How in the hell do you think all that sickness and dying was paid for? Death is expensive, Miss Stella. Right after Margaret, then was old cousin Jesse. The Grim Reaper had put up his tent on our doorstep. Belle Reeve was his headquarters, Stella. That's how I let it slip through my fingers. Which one of them left us a fortune? Which one of them left us a cent of insurance even? Only poor Jessie, 100 to pay for her coffin. With my pitiful salary at the school. Yes, accuse me. Sit there telling me that I let the place go. I let the place go. Well, where were you? In bed with your pool. Can't you be still? That's enough. Where are you going?
Going to the bathroom to wash my face.
Oh, Stella, you're crying. Does that surprise you? Oh, forgive me, baby. I didn't mean to say anything that would hurt your
Is that
feelings.
how we got it?
Sure, that's how he got it. Hit the old Weatherbird, $300 on a 6-number ticket.
Don't tell him those things. He'll believe it.
Hey, come back here, Mitch.
Hey, are we playing poker tomorrow?
Sure, Mitch.
Oh, no, not at my place. My mother's sick.
Okay, at my place, but you bring the beer.
Break it up down there. I made the spaghetti dish and I ate it all myself.
I told you and phoned you that we was playing Jack's beer.
You never phoned me once.
Told you at breakfast and I phoned you at lunch.
Never mind. Why don't you just get yourself home once in a while?
God damn it! You wanted the newspaper?
You must be Stanley. I'm Blanche.
Stella's sister.
Yes.
Hello. Where's the little woman?
Oh, in the bathroom.
Didn't know you was coming in town. Where you from, Blanche?
Why, I live in Laurel.
Laurel, huh?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's right, in Laurel. Not my territory. Liquor sure goes fast in hot weather. Have a shot?
Oh no, I rarely touch it.
Some people rarely touch it, but it touches them often. My shirt's sticking to me. Do you mind if I make myself comfortable?
Please do.
Be comfortable. That's my motto up where I come from.
Well, it's mine too. It's so hard to stay looking fresh in this weather. Why, I haven't even bathed or powdered, and here you are.
You know, you can catch cold sitting around in damn things, especially after you've been exercising hard, like Bowen is. You're a teacher, aren't you?
Oh, yes.
What do you teach?
English?
I never was a very good English student. How long you here for, Blanche?
Oh, well, I don't know yet.
You gonna shack up here?
Oh, I thought I would if it's not an inconvenience to y'all.
Well, that's good.
Traveling just wears me out.
Well, take it easy.
Oh! What was that?
Them's cats. Hey, Stella!
Yes, Stanley.
Haven't fallen in, have you? I'm afraid I'll strike you as being the unrefined type. And Stella spoke of you a good deal. Now, you were married once, weren't you?
Oh, yes. When I was very young.
What happened?
The boy died. Excuse me. I think I'm going to be sick.
Hey, sweetheart.
Oh, Stanley!
What's all this monkey doing?
Oh, Stan, I'm taking Blanche to Galatoire's for supper and then do a show, 'cause it's your poker night.
Hey, how about my supper, huh? I ain't going to no Galatoire's for supper.
I put you a cold plate on ice.
Well,
I'm gonna try to keep Blanche out to the party breaks up, because I don't know how she's gonna take it.
isn't that just dandy?
So go to one of those little places in the court afterwards. And you better give me some money.
Where is she?
She's soaking in a hot tub to quiet her nerves. She's terribly upset.
What?
She's been through such an ordeal.
Yeah?
Yes. Stan, we've lost Belrive.
The place in the country.
Yes.
How?
Oh, it had to be sacrificed or something. Look, when she comes in, be sure to say something nice about her appearance. And don't mention the baby. I haven't said anything yet. I'm waiting until she gets into a quieter condition.
So?
And try to understand and be nice to her, Stan. She wasn't expecting to find us in such a small place. You see, I try to gloss things over a little in my letters.
So?
And admire her dress and tell her she's looking wonderful. That's important to Blanche. Her little weakness.
Yeah, I get the idea. Now let's skip back a little to where you said the place was disposed of.
Oh, yes.
How about that? Let's have a few more details on that subject.
Oh, it's best not to talk much about it until she's calmed down.
So that's the deal, huh? Sister Blanche cannot be annoyed with business details right now.
You saw how she was last night?
I saw how she was. Now let's have a gander at the bill of sale.
I haven't seen any.
What? Do you mean to tell me she didn't show you no papers, no deed of sale, or nothing like that?
It seems as if it wasn't sold.
Well, what in hell was it then? Giveaway to charity?
She'll hear you.
I don't care if she hears me. Let's see the papers.
There weren't any papers. She didn't show any papers. I don't care about papers.
Listen, did you ever hear the Napoleonic Code?
No, Stanley. I haven't heard of the Napoleonic Code.
Let me enlighten you on a point or two.
Yes.
In the state of Louisiana, we have what is known as the Napoleonic Code, according to which what belongs to the wife belongs to the husband also, and vice versa. For instance, if you have a piece of property, or I have a piece of property...
My head is swimming.
All right, I'll wait till she gets through soaking in a hot tub, and then I'll inquire if she's acquainted with the Napoleonic Code. Looks to me like you've been swindled, baby, and under the Napoleonic Code, when you get swindled, I get swindled too, and I don't like to be swindled.
There's plenty of time to ask her questions later. But if you do now, she'll go into pieces again. I don't understand what happened to Belrive, but you don't know how ridiculous you are being when you suggest that my sister or I or anyone else of our family could have perpetrated a swindle on anyone.
Then where's the money if the place was sold?
Not sold. Lost. Lost, Stanley. Stanley, what are you doing?
Will you open your eyes to this stuff? You think she got them out of a teacher's pay?
Oh, Stanley.
Look at these feathers and fur she comes here to preen herself in. What is this? A solid gold dress, I believe. And these here, fox pieces. Genuine fox fur pieces are half a mile long. Where are your fox pieces, Stella? Bush's snow white ones, no less. Where are your white fox pieces?
Those are inexpensive summer furs Blanche has had a long time.
I got an acquaintance who deals in this sort of merchandise. He's coming up here to make an appraisal of it.
Oh, don't be such an idiot, Stanley.
I'm willing to bet you there's $1,000 invested in this stuff here. And what have we here? The treasure chest of a pirate.
Be still, Stanley.
Pearls, roast of them. What is this sister of yours, a deep sea diver? Bracelets of solid gold. Where are your pearls and gold bracelets? And what have we here? Diamonds. A crown for an empress.
A rhinestone tiara she wore to a costume ball.
What's rhinestone?
Next door to Glass.
You're kidding. I got an acquaintance who works in a jewelry store. He's coming up here to make an appraisal of this. Here's your plantation and what was left of it here.
You have no idea how stupid and hard you're being. Now leave this trunk alone before she comes out of the bathroom.
The Kowalskis and the Dubois have different notions.
Indeed they have. Thank heavens. I'm going outside. You come out with me while Blanche is getting dressed.
Since when do you give me orders?
Are you gonna stay here and insult her?
You're damn tootin' I'm gonna stay here.
Hello, Stanley. I feel so good after my long hot bath.
That's good.
Well, excuse me while I slip on my pretty new dress.
Sure, go right ahead, Blanche.
I understand there's to be a little card party to which we ladies are cordially not invited.
That's right.
Well, where is Stella?
Out on the porch.
I'm going to ask a favor of you in a minute.
What could that be, I wonder?
Just some buttons and back. I'm having some trouble with my dress. You may enter now. How do I look?
You look okay.
Many thanks. Now the buttons.
Well, I can't do nothing with them.
You men with your big clumsy fingers. Why, it looks like my trunk has exploded.
Me and Stella were helping you to unpack.
Oh, well, you sure did a quick and thorough job of it.
It looks like you raided some stylish shops in Paris.
Yes, clothes are my passion.
How much does it cost for a string of fur pieces like that?
Oh, well, those were a tribute to me from an admirer of mine.
You must have had a lot of admiration.
Yes, well, in my youth, I excited some great admiration. But look at me now. Would you think it possible that I was ever considered to be attractive?
Your looks are okay.
I was fishing for a compliment, Stanley.
I don't go in for that stuff.
What stuff?
Compliments to women about their looks. I never met a woman that didn't know if she was good looking or not without being told. And some of them give themselves credit for more than they've got. I once went out with a dame who said to me, I am the glamorous type. I am the glamorous type. I said to her, so what?
And what did she say then?
She didn't say nothing. That shut her up like a clam.
Well, did it end the romance?
It ended the conversation, and that was all. Some men are took in by this Hollywood glamour stuff, and some men are not.
Well, I'm sure that you belong in the second category.
That's right.
I cannot imagine any witch of a woman casting a spell over you.
That's right.
You're simple, straightforward, and honest. A bit on the primitive side, I should think. To interest you, a lady would have to...
Lay her cards on the table.
Well, I never cared much for wishy-washy people. That's why when I came in here last night, I said to myself, my sister has married a man. Of course, that's all I could tell about you at the moment.
What? How about cutting the rebop?
Ooh, Stanley.
You come outside while Blanche is finished dressing.
I finished dressing, honey.
Well, you come out then.
Your sister and I are having a little talk.
Now, just a minute. Honey, will you do a favor for me? Run down to the drugstore and get me a lemon coke with plenty of crushed ice in it. Will you do that for me, sweetie, please? Please.
Yes.
The poor little thing was out there listening to us, and I have an idea she doesn't understand you quite as well as I do. All right, Mr. Kowalski, let us proceed without any more digression. I am ready to answer any and all questions. I have nothing to hide. Now, what is it?
In the state of Louisiana, we have what is known as the Napoleonic Code, according to which what belongs to the wife belongs to the husband also.
My, but you have an impressive judicial air.
If you wasn't my wife's sister, I'd get ideas about you.
Such as what?
Don't play so dumb, you know what.
All right, cards on the table, that suits me. I know I fit a good deal. After all, a woman's charm is 50% illusion. But when a thing is important, I tell the truth, and this here is the truth. I have never cheated my sister or you or anyone else as long as I've lived.
Then where's the papers? In the trunk?
Everything I own is in that trunk. What are you thinking of? What's in that little boy's mind of yours? Let me do it. It'll be faster and simpler. I keep my papers mostly in this tin box.
And what's them underneath?
Love letters, yellowing with antiquity, all from one boy. Oh, give those back to me!
I'll have a look at them
The
first.
touch of your hand insults them!
Don't pull that stuff.
Now that you've touched them, I'll burn them! Oh, dear.
What are they?
Poems. A dead boy wrote me. Oh, I hurt him the way that you would like to hurt me, but you can't. I'm not young and vulnerable anymore. But my young husband was. Never mind about that.
What do you mean by saying you'll have to burn them?
I'm sorry. I must have lost my head for a minute. Everybody has something they don't want others to touch because of their intimate nature. Look here. Ambler and Ambler.
What is Ambler and Ambler?
A firm that made loans on the place.
Then it was lost on a mortgage.
That must have been what happened.
I don't want no ifs, ands, or buts. What's all the rest of the papers?
There are thousands and thousands of papers stretching back over hundreds of years affecting Belle Reve. As piece by piece, our improvident grandfathers and fathers and uncles and brothers exchanged the land for their epic fornications, to put it plainly. The four-letter word deprived us of our plantation until all that was left, and Stella can verify that, was the house itself and about 20 acres of land, including a graveyard to which all but Stella and I have retreated. Now here they are, all papers. I hereby endow them to you. Take them, peruse them, commit them to your memory even. I think it's wonderfully fitting that Belle Reve should end up this pile of papers in your big, capable hands.
I have a lawyer acquaintance who'll study these out.
Well, make sure you present them to him with a box of aspirin tablets.
See, under the Napoleonic Code, a man has to take an interest in his wife's affairs, especially now that she's going to have a baby.
Baby? Stella's going to have a baby? I didn't know she was going to have a baby. Oh, Stella, the star! How lovely to have a baby. Oh, it's all right. Everything's all right.
I'm sorry he did that to you.
It's okay. He's just not the type that likes jasmine perfume. But I think he's what we need to mix our blood with now that we've lost Belle Reve. We thrashed it out. I feel a bit shaky, but I think I handled it nicely. I treated it all as a big joke. Yes, I laughed and called him a little boy and flirted. I was flirting with your husband. Oh, yes, sir, I'm the proposal party. Which way do you go now? Still up that way?
No, honey. This way.
The blind are lead the blind.
This is my life, let me tell you.
What time is it?
What the hell difference does it make?
Oh, he won't quit till he wins a pot. Anything wild on this deal?
When our jacks are wild.
How many cards did you take?
Two.
Hey, anyone want a shot?
Yeah, me.
Hey, why don't somebody go down to the Chinaman's and bring us back a little chop suey?
When I'm losing, you want to eat. Get it off the table, Mitch. Nothing belongs on the table but cards, chips, and whiskey.
Kinda on your high horse, ain't you? Well, I ought to be going home pretty soon.
Shut up.
I got a mother and she's sick. She don't go to bed till I get in at night.
And why don't you stay home with her?
Well, she says go out, so I do. But I don't enjoy it. All the while, I keep wondering how she is.
For the sake of Jesus, will you go home then?
You all are married. But when she goes, I'll be all alone. I'm going to the bathroom.
Hurry back and I'll get you a lollipop.
Lay off.
So, what have you guys got, huh?
Well, I've got a spade flush. All right, boys, this game is 7-card stud. Well, there was this old farmer sitting in the back of his house throwing corn to the chickens, when all of a sudden he hears a loud cackle and he sees a young hen coming licking a split around the side of the corner with a rooster gaining on him right
Deal the
behind.
cards.
But when the rooster catches sight of the farmer throwing the corn, he stops and starts pecking at the corn. And then he lets the hen get away. But the farmer says, Lord God, I hope son never gets that hungry.
What are you doing? Sit down that joke. That's it. Shut up. It's an old joke.
Chill going on.
Well, how do I look?
Lovely, Blanche.
I feel so hot and fresh. Do I look done in?
You look as fresh as a daisy.
What nonsense.
Well, I see you boys are still at it.
Where you been?
Blanche and I took in a show. Blanche, this is Mr. Gonzalez and Mr. Hubble.
Hiya.
Please don't get up.
Nobody's going to get up, so don't get worried.
How much longer is this game gonna continue?
Till we get ready to quit.
Poker is so interesting. Could I kid it?
You could not.
Excuse me.
Why don't you women go up to Eunice's?
Because it's nearly 2:30. Couldn't you call it quits after one more hand? It's not fun, Stanley. It makes me so mad when it does that in front of people.
I think I will bathe.
Again?
My nerves are a knot. Is the bathroom occupied?
I don't know.
Oh, good evening.
Blanche, this is Harry Mitchell.
My sister Blanche Dubois. How do you do?
How do you do, Miss Dubois?
How's your mother, Mitch?
Oh, about the same things. She appreciated your sending over the custom. Now, excuse me, please.
That one seems superior to the others.
Yes, he is.
I thought he had sort of a sensitive look about him.
His mother's sick.
Is he married?
Nope. Is he a wolf? Blanche! No, I don't think he would be.
Well, what does he do?
Oh, he's on the precision bench in the spare parts department of the plant that Stanley Trail was for.
Is that something much?
No, Stanley's the only one of his crowd that's likely to get anywhere. What makes you think Stanley will? Look at him.
I've looked at him.
Then you should know.
Well, I'm sorry, Stella, but I haven't noticed the stamp of genius on Stanley's forehead.
It's not on his forehead, and it isn't genius.
Oh, well, what is it then and where? I would like to know.
Oh, it's a drive he has. Blanche, you're standing in the light.
Oh, am I? Gracious.
Ought to see their wives.
Oh, I can imagine. Big beefy things, I suppose.
You know the one upstairs?
Oh, that horror.
Well, one night, the plastic cracked.
Oh,
You hens cut out that conversation in there.
Oh, you can't hear us.
Well, you can hear me, and I said to hush up.
Look, this is my house, too, and I'll talk as much as I'd like.
Stella, don't make a row.
Oh, he's half drunk.
All right, Mitch, you in.
I'll be out in a minute.
Hey, who turned that on in there?
I did. Do you mind?
Turn it off.
Oh, let the girls have the music, Stanley.
That's good, Stanley. Leave it on.
Sounds like Xavier Cooper.
Stanley!
Think about that.
I didn't hear you name it.
Didn't I name it Mitch?
I wasn't listening.
What were you doing then, huh?
He was looking through them drapes. Now, steal the hand again and play cards are quick. Some people get ants when they win. Sit down.
I'm going to the head. Deal me out.
Sure, he's got ants now. 7 $5 bills in his pants pocket, folded up as tight as spitballs.
Hey, tomorrow you see him down at the cashier's window getting them changed in the quarters.
And when it goes home, we'll deposit them one by one in a piggy bank.
All right, boys, this game is spit in the ocean.
Oh, well, hello.
Hello. Excuse me.
Oh, the little boy's room is busy right now.
Well, I've been drinking beer.
I hate beer.
Well, it's a hot weather drink.
Oh, I don't think so. It always makes me warmer. Have you got any cigs?
Well, sure.
What kind are they?
Lucky's.
Oh, good. Oh, what a pretty case. Is it gold?
Why, yes. Now read the inscription.
Oh, is there one? I can't see it.
It's right there.
Oh, and if God choose, I shall but love thee better after death. Well, that's from my favorite sonnet by Mrs. Browning.
You know it?
I certainly do.
Well, there's a story connected with this inscription.
Oh, it sounds like a romance.
A pretty sad one. The girl's dead now.
Oh, dear.
But she knew she was dying when she gave me this. Very strange girl. Very sweet. Very.
She must have been very fond of you. Sick people have such deep, sincere attachments.
That's right, they certainly do.
Sorrow makes for sincerity, I think.
It sure brings it out in people.
Yes, the little there is belongs to the people who have known some sorrow.
I believe you are right about that.
I am positive that I am. Show me a person that hasn't known any sorrow, and I'll show you a superficial person. Oh, dear me, my tongue is a little thick. Why, it's your boy's fault. The show let out at 11, and Stella and I couldn't come home on account of the poker party. So we had to go somewhere and drink. Now, I'm not accustomed to more than one drink. 2 is my limit. And 3? Tonight I had 3.
Mitch!
Deal me out. I'm talking with Miss
Dubois.
Dubois.
It means white. It means woods, and Blanche means white. So the two together mean white woods, like an orchard in the spring. You can remember it by that, if you care to.
You're French?
We are French by extraction. Our first American ancestors were French Huguenots.
Well, you are Stella's sister, are you not?
Oh, yes. Stella is my precious little sister. I say little in spite of the fact that she's someone older than I.
Oh.
Oh, just a little, less than a year.
Uh-huh.
Would you, do something for me?
Sure. Yes, what?
Well, I bought this adorable little colored paper lantern down in a shop on Vernon. Could you put it over the light bulb for me?
Sure.
I just can't stand a naked light bulb, any more than I can stand a rude remark or a vulgar action.
I guess we strike you as a pretty rough bunch.
Well, I'm very adaptable to circumstances.
Well, that's a good thing to be. Are you...
Married? No, I'm an old maid school teacher.
Well, you may teach school, but you are certainly not an old maid.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate your gallantry.
So you are in the teaching profession.
Oh, yes.
Well, what do you teach? Grade school or high school?
Hey, Mitch!
Coming!
Gracious! What lung power! No, I teach high school in Laurel.
What do you teach? What subject?
Guess.
I bet you teach art or music.
No.
Of course, I could be wrong. You might teach arithmetic.
Oh, never arithmetic, sir, never arithmetic. I don't even know my multiplication tables. No, I've the misfortune of being an English instructor. I attempt to instill a bunch of Bobby Soxers and drugstore Romeos with a passion for Hawthorne and Whitman and Poe.
I'll bet some of them are more interested in other things.
How very right you are. Their literary heritage is not what they treasure above all else. But they're sweet things. And in the spring, it's touching to see them making their first discovery of love, as if no one had ever discovered it before.
Well, excuse me, please.
Oh, wait! I'll turn on the radio. And you turn on that right there. Oh, it's on, isn't it? Look, we've made enchantment.
Read points, you dirty greaser.
Straight, I got you. That's pretty good, huh? Pretty soon you'll be in the poorhouse and it'll be all because of me.
Oh,
Stella, what are you doing to my radio?
Stay the hell out of my way.
Drunk animal!
Stella!
Come on, no. Oh, please go home. If any one of you have a spark of decency in you, you'll go home. Oh, Stella, watch out, he's coming in.
No, Stanley, take it easy.
No, Stella, no.
Shut up.
This is terrible.
Rude is the absolute rude.
Get in here, man. It's time. Bring up the chair, Stanley. Poker should not be played in a house with women.
We'll go to that woman's upstairs. She'll take
What's the matter? What happened?
What happened? I'll tell you what happened. You blew your top. That's what happened.
Hey, my boy Stanley's okay now, huh?
Sure, my boy's okay.
Put him on the bed and get him a wet towel.
I think some coffee would do him some more good now, huh? What you think?
Maybe we should get him some cold water.
Put him in the shower. There's plenty of cold water in the shower.
I don't need a
Come on,
shower.
He shouldn't live with such nice women. He don't deserve to. He don't know how to treat them. He belongs in the shower. Poker should not be played in a house with women.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Steve, get upstairs. I want you upstairs now.
Damn!
Eunice, is my girl up there? I want to talk to my girl. I'll keep on ringing till I talk to my baby. Stella!
Quit that hollering and get back to bed.
Eunice, I want my girl down here.
She ain't coming down, so you just quit, or I'll get the law on you.
Stella!
You can't beat on a woman and expect her to come back, her being pregnant and all.
Eunice!
I hope they do haul you in and turn the fire hose on you, just like last time.
Eunice, I want my girl down here with me.
You stinker! You whelp of a Pollock, you!
Stella! Stella! Oh, sweetheart, baby, don't ever leave me. Don't ever leave me.
Oh, Mr. Ross. Oh, I'll quiet on Potomac now.
She ran down those stairs and I have a feeling she went back in there with
She
him.
sure did.
I'm terrified.
But there's nothing to be scared of. They're crazy about each other.
I guess I'm not used
It's a
to
shame this had to happen. You've been here only a short time and all, but don't take it seriously.
violence. It's
Why
so...
don't you just sit down on the steps here and have a cigarette with me?
But I'm not properly dressed.
That don't make no difference in the quarter.
Such a pretty gold case.
I showed you the inscription, didn't I?
Yes. There's so much confusion in the world. Thank you for being so kind to me. I need kindness now.
Well, I'm glad you didn't.
What on earth could you have been thinking of, Stella? Answer me, what? What?
Please, Blanche, sit down and stop yelling.
All right, Stella. I will repeat the question quietly now. How could you come back in this place after what happened last night? Why, Stella, you must have slept with him.
Oh, Blanche, I'd forgotten how excitable you are. You're making much too fuss about this.
Am I?
Yes, you are, Blanche. I know how it must have seemed to you, and I'm awfully sorry it had to happen. But it wasn't as serious as you seem to take it. In the first place, when men are drinking and playing poker, anything can happen. It's always a powder keg. Oh, he didn't know what he was doing. He was as good as a lamb when I came back. And he's really very, very ashamed of himself.
And that makes it all right.
No, it isn't all right for anyone to make such a terrible ride. Oh, honey, but people do sometimes. Stanley's always smashed things. Why, on our wedding night, soon as we came in here, Stanley snatched off one of my slippers and rushed about the place smashing the light bulbs with it.
He did what?
He smashed the light bulbs with the heel of my slipper.
And you let him? You didn't run? You didn't scream?
I was sort of thrilled by it. Oh, Eunice, you had breakfast.
Do you suppose I wanted any breakfast?
Oh, there's some coffee left.
You're just so matter-of-fact about it, Stella.
What other can I be? He's taken the radio to get it fixed. It didn't land that hard, so only one tube was smashed.
And you're standing there smiling.
What do you want me to do?
Pull yourself together and face the facts.
What are they, in your opinion?
In my opinion, You're married to a madman.
No.
Yes, you are. Your fix is worse than mine. Only you're not being sensible about it. I'm going to do something. Get hold of myself and make a new life.
Yes?
Yes. But you've given in, and that isn't right. You're not old. You still can get out.
Honey, I'm not in anything I want to get out of.
What? Stella.
I said I'm not in anything I desire to get out of. Look at the mess in this room and those empty bottles. Now, Stanley promised me this morning that he was going to quit having these polka parties. Oh, but you know how long such a promise is going to keep. Oh, well, it's his pleasure. Like mine is movies and bridge. People have got to tolerate each other's habits, I guess.
Stella, I don't understand you. I don't understand your indifference. Is this some Chinese philosophy you've cultivated?
Oh, it's what?
Oh, this shuffling about, mumbling, one tube smash, beer bottles, mess in the kitchen. As if nothing out of the ordinary had happened. Are you deliberately shaking that thing in my face?
No.
Well, then put it down. I will not have you cleaning up after him.
Then who's gonna do it? Are you? No, I don't think so.
Just let me think. If only my mind would function. You've got to get hold of some money. That's the way out.
I guess that money is always nice to get a hold of.
Now listen to me. I have an idea of some kind. Do you remember Shep Huntley?
No.
Of course you remember Shep Huntley. I went out with him at college and was pinned for a while. Well, anyway, when I ran into him last winter, you know that I went to Miami for the Christmas holidays.
No.
Well, I did. I took the trip as an investment, thinking I'd meet a man with $1 million.
What, did you?
Yes, I ran into Shep Huntley. Now, let me see. I ran into him on Biscayne Boulevard on Christmas Eve about dusk. Yeah, he was getting into his car, a Cadillac convertible. Must have been a block long.
I should think it would have been inconvenient in traffic.
Well, you've heard of oil wells.
Yes, remotely.
Well, he has them all over Texas. Texas is literally spouting gold in his pockets.
My.
Well, you know how indifferent I am to money. I think of money only in terms of what it can do for you. But he could do it. He certainly could do it.
Do what, Blanche?
Why, set us up in a shop.
What kind of shop?
Oh, I don't know, a shop of some kind. He could do it with half of what his wife throws away at the races.
Ooh, he's married.
Honey, would I be here if he wasn't married? How do I get Western Union? Operator!
You need to dial, honey.
Oh, I can't dial. I'm too excited.
Just dial Oh, yes. Oh, for operator.
Never mind. I think I better write it down first anyway. Now, where's some paper? My darling, sister and I in desperate condition.
I beg your pardon.
Sister and I in desperate condition. We'll explain details later. Would you be interested? No. Will you be interested? Oh, you never get anywhere with direct appeals.
Darling, don't be so ridiculous.
But I'll find a way out. I've just got to find a way out.
Blanche.
Stella, don't laugh at me. Please don't laugh at me. I want you to look at the contents of my purse. Now look what's in it. 65 measly cents in coin of the realm.
Stanley doesn't give me a regular allowance. He likes to pay bills himself, but, well, this morning he gave me $10 to smooth things over. Here, Blanche, you take 5 and I'll keep the rest.
No, Stella, no.
Well, I know how it helps your morale out just having a little pocket change on you.
No, thank you. I'll take to the streets.
Talk sense. How'd you happen to get so low on funds?
Money goes. It just goes places. Sometime today I've got to get hold of a bromo.
Well, I'll fix you one now.
No, not yet. I've got to keep thinking.
Blanche, I wish you'd just let things go. Honey, at least for a while.
Oh, no, Stella, I can't live with him. Well, you can. He's your husband. How could I stay here after what happened last night with only those curtains between us?
Oh, Blanche, you saw him at his worst last night.
On the contrary, I saw him at his best. What such a man has to offer is animal force, and he gave a wonderful exhibition of that last night. But the only way to live with such a man is to go to bed with him, and that's your job, not mine.
After you've rested, you'll see it's gonna all work out, Blanche. You won't have to worry about anything while you're here.
Oh, Stella, don't you see? find this horrible place and these poker players impossible to live with.
And you're taking entirely too much for granted.
Can't believe you're in earnest.
No.
Well, I understand how it happened a little. You saw him in his uniform, an officer, not here, but
I don't
someplace
think it would have made any difference where I saw him.
Now, don't try to tell me it was one of those mysterious electric things between people. If you do, I'll laugh in your face.
I'm not going to say anything more about it.
All right, then don't.
But there are things that happen between a man and a woman in the dark that sort of makes other things seem unimportant.
What you are talking about is desire. Brutal desire. The name of that rattle-trap streetcar that bangs through the quarter, up one old narrow street and down another.
Haven't you ever ridden on that streetcar?
It brought me here, where I'm not wanted and where I'm ashamed to be.
Then don't you think your superior attitude is a bit out of place?
Oh, honey, I'm not feeling or being superior at all. Believe me, I'm not. It's just this. This is how I view it. A man like that is someone to go out with once or twice or 3 times when the devil is in you. But to live with, have a child by.
I told you I love him.
Then I tremble for you. I just tremble for you.
I can't help your trembling if you insist on trembling.
May I speak plainly?
Yes, do. As plainly as you want to.
Well, if you forgive me, he's common.
Why, yes. Suppose he is.
Suppose? Oh, surely you can't have forgotten that much about bringing up, Stella, that you only suppose there's any part of a gentleman in his nature. Not one particle, no. Well, maybe if he was just ordinary, just good and wholesome. But no, there's something downright bestial about him. Oh, you're hating me saying this, aren't you?
Go on. Say it all, Blanche.
He acts like an animal, has an animal's habits, eats like one, moves like one, talks like one. Why, there's even something subhuman, something not quite to the stage of humanity yet. Yes, something ape-like about him, like one of those pictures I've seen in anthropological studies. Thousands and thousands of years have passed him right by, and there he is, Stanley Kowalski, survivor of the Stone Age, bearing the raw meat home from the kill in the jungle. And you here waiting for him. Maybe he'll strike you or grunt and kiss you. That is, if kisses have been discovered yet. Night falls and the other apes gather. There in front of the cave, all grunting like him, all swilling and gnawing and hulking. Oh, his poker party, you call it, this party of apes? Some creature that growls, some other one snatches at something. The fight is on! God. Maybe we are a long way from being made in God's image. But Stella, my sister, there has been some progress since then. Such things as art, as music and poetry have come into the world since then. And in some kinds of people, some tenderer feelings have had some little beginning. And that we have to make grow and cling to and hold as our flag in this dark march toward whatever it is we are approaching. Don't hang back with the brutes.
Hey, Stella.
Yes, Stanley.
Hi, Stella. Blanche back?
Yes, she's back.
Hiya, Blanche.
Looks like you got under the car.
Yeah, them Don mechanics at Fritz's don't know their can from third base. Hey.
Such a knock.
What are you laughing at, honey?
Oh, myself for being such a liar. I'm writing a letter to Shep Huntley. Well, listen to it. My darling, I I'm spending the summer on the wing, taking flying visits here and there. And who knows, maybe I shall take the sudden notion to swoop down on Dallas. How would you feel about that? Well, forewarned is forearmed, as they say. How does that sound? Most of my sister's friends go north for the summer, but some other ones have homes on the Gulf. So there's been a continued round of entertainments and teas, cocktails,
I
and
know about you and that blonde.
That's a goddamn lie!
You ain't pulling the wool over my eyes. I wouldn't mind if you went down to Four Deuces. It'll be all right. But you go up.
Eunice seems to be having some trouble with Steve.
Now don't you throw that here!
Oh, dear! Did he kill her?
No, she's coming downstairs.
Oh, I'm gonna call the police. I'm gonna call the police.
Get back here, you!
What's the matter with Eunice?
She and Steve had a row, and she got the police.
No, she's getting a drink.
That's much more practical.
She here?
At the Four Deuces.
That rotten hunk!
Oh, I must write that down in my notebook. I'm compiling a notebook of little quaint words and phrases I picked up here.
You won't pick up nothing here you ain't heard before.
Can I count on that?
You can count on that up to 500.
Well, that's a mighty high number. Stanley, what sign were you born under?
What sign?
Astrological sign. I bet you were born under Aries. Aries people are forceful and dynamic. Why, they dote on noise. They love to bang things around. Well, you did a lot of banging around in the army, and now that you're out, you make up for it by treating inanimate objects with such a fury.
But Stanley was born just 5 minutes after Christmas.
Oh, Capricorn, the goat.
What sign were you born under?
Oh, well, my birthday's next month, the 15th of September. That's under Virgo.
What's Virgo?
Virgo is the virgin.
Ha! Say, do you happen to know somebody named Shaw?
Why, everybody knows somebody named Shaw.
Well, this somebody named Shaw was under the impression he met you in Laurel, but I figured he must have got you mixed up with some other party because this other party is someone he met at a hotel called the Flamingo.
Oh, well then he must have me mixed up with this other party. The Hotel Flamingo is not the sort of place I would dare to be seen in.
Oh, you know it then.
I've seen it and smelled it.
You must have got pretty close if you could smell it.
The odor of cheap perfume is penetrating.
That stuff you use is expensive.
$12 an ounce and I'm nearly out. That's just a hint in case you want to remember my birthday.
Well, I figured he must have got you mixed up with some other party, but he goes in and out of Laurel all the time, so he can check on it and clear up any mistake. See you at the Four Deuces?
Hey, don't I rate a kiss?
Not in front of your sister.
You know I don't love those girls.
I don't give a damn about those girls. You just forget you even said it.
I love you. You know I love you. I only do those things with those girls because I love you.
Oh, Stella! Blanche, are you still frightened of thunder? What have you heard about me? Huh? What have people been telling you about me? Telling? You haven't heard any unkind gossip about me?
Why, no, Blanche, of course not.
Honey, there was quite a lot of talk in Laurel.
People talk, who cares?
No, I haven't been so good for the past 2 years or so. Ever since Belle Reeve started to slip through my fingers. I was never hard or self-sufficient enough. Soft people, they've got to shimmer and glow. They've got to put on soft colors. The colors of butterfly wings and put a paper lantern over the light. But it isn't enough to be soft. You've got to be soft and attractive. And I'm fading now. I don't know how much longer I can turn the trick. Oh, have you been listening to me?
I never listen to you when you're being morbid.
Is that Coke for me?
Not for anyone else.
Oh, you precious thing. Is it only Coke?
You mean you want a shot at it?
Well, a shot never did a Coke any harm. Oh, let me, honey. You mustn't wait on me.
I like to wait on you, Blanche. Makes it seem more like home.
Well, I must admit I love to be waited on.
Blanche,
you're so good to me, and I know I won't. I know you'd hate me to get me sentimental, but believe me, I feel things more than I tell you. I won't stay long, I won't. I'll go, I promise, I will. I'll go soon. I won't hang around till he throws me out.
Now, will you stop talking foolish?
Right. Take this. Stella, watch when you pull that stuff. The fizzy stuff foams over. Oh, heavens! Out of my pretty dress.
Use your hanky block gently.
Oh, gently, gently.
Did it stain?
Oh, not a bit. Isn't that lucky?
Why'd you scream like that?
I don't know why I screamed. Oh, Mitch is coming over at 7. I guess I'm just feeling nervous about our relations. He hasn't gotten a thing but a goodnight kiss. That's all I've given him, Stella. I want his respect. And a man doesn't want what he can get too easily. But on the other hand, men lose interest quickly. Especially when the girl is over 30. When a girl is over 30, they expect her to... The vulgar expression is put out. And I'm not putting out. But he doesn't know. I mean, I haven't informed him yet of my real age.
Oh, honey, why are you so sensitive about your age?
Because of the hard knocks my vanity's been given. He thinks I'm sort of prim and proper, you know. I want to deceive him. Just enough to make him want me.
Do you want him?
I want to rest. I want to breathe quietly again. Yes, I want Mitch. I want him very badly. Well, just think, if it happens, I can go away from here, not be anybody's problem.
Hey, Steve.
Hey!
Hey, Eunice.
Hi, honey.
Hey, Stella.
It will happen. It will, honey, it will. Don't take another drink. Come on, get me.
I'm coming, you little sweet potato! Come on, baby! Come on!
Hi, Daddy.
Let me go. Oh, Milky. Come in.
Good evening, ma'am.
Oh, hello. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm collecting for the Evening Star.
I didn't know stars took up collections.
It's the paper, ma'am.
I know. I was joking. Feebly. Would you, care for a drink?
No, thank you. I can't drink on the job.
Oh, well, let me see then. Oh, no, I haven't got a dime, but I'm not the lady of the house. I'm a sister from Mississippi. I'm one of those poor relations you've heard tell about.
Well, that's all right. I'll drop by later.
Oh, wait. Do you have a light?
Sure. Yeah, but, it doesn't always work.
Oh, it's temperamental.
Yes. Sorry, ma'am.
Well, wait. Do you have the time?
Oh, yes, ma'am. 15 to 7.
So late? Don't you just love these long, rainy afternoons in New Orleans? When an hour isn't just an hour, but a little bit of eternity dropped into the palm of your hand. And who knows what to do with it? You didn't get wet in the rain.
No, ma'am. I stepped inside.
In a drugstore and had a soda.
Yeah.
Chocolate?
No, ma'am. Cherry.
Cherry.
Cherry soda.
You make my mouth water.
Well, I'd better be going, ma'am.
Young man. Young man. Has anyone ever told you that you look like a young prince out of the Arabian Nights?
No, ma'am.
Well, you do, honey lamb. Come here. Come on over here like I told you. I want to kiss you just once, softly and sweetly on the mouth. Run along now. It would be nice to keep you here, but I've got to be good and keep my hands off children. Adios.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, it is you, Mitch. How are you? Oh, you're bow to me first.
Blanche, you know I'm okay.
And now present them. Oh, merci.
getting pretty tired. You're pretty late now.
Well, how will you get home?
Oh, I walk over to Bourbon catching the owl car.
Oh, is that streetcar named Desire still banging along the tracks at this hour?
Blanche, I'm afraid you haven't had much fun this evening.
I spoiled it for you, Mitch.
No. All the while, I felt like I wasn't giving you much entertainment.
I simply couldn't rise to the occasion. I don't think I've ever tried so hard to be cheerful and made such a dismal mess of
If
it.
you didn't feel like it, then why did you try?
I was just obeying the law of nature.
And which law was that?
Oh, the one that says the lady must entertain the gentleman on no dice. Try and see if you can locate my key in this purse. But I'm so tired that my fingers are all thumbs.
Is this one it?
Oh, no, that's the key to my trunk, which I better soon be packing, huh?
You're leaving pretty soon now?
I've outstayed my welcome.
Is this one it?
Oh, that's it. Now you try to get the door open while I take a last look at the sky. I'm looking for the Pleiades, the Seven Sisters. These ladies are not ours now. Oh, yes, they are. There they are. God bless them. All a bunch and coming home from their little bridge party. Did you get the door open?
Right here.
Good boy. Well, I guess you want to come in now, huh?
Blanche, can I kiss you goodnight?
Why do you always ask if you may?
Well, I don't know whether you want me to or not.
Well, why should you be so doubtful?
Well, remember when we parked by the lake? Well, I kissed you and you just didn't seem to
Oh,
like it.
honey, I liked the kiss. It wasn't the kiss I objected to. It was the other little familiarity that I felt obliged to discourage. Oh, I didn't resent it, no. In fact, I was quite flattered that you desired me. But you know as well as I do that a single girl, a girl alone in the world, has got to keep a firm hold on her emotions, or else she'll be lost.
Lost?
I guess you're used to girls that like to get lost. The kind that get lost immediately on the first date.
No, I like you exactly the way you are, Blanche. Because in all of my, well, experience, I've never met anyone quite like you.
Oh, my dear.
Are you laughing at me?
No, honey, I'm not laughing at you. But the lord and lady of the house have not returned, so you can come in and we'll have a nightcab. Let's leave those off, shall we? You can go in that other room. It's more comfortable. Now, I'm going to look around for some liquor.
You want a drink?
No, honey, I want you to have a drink. We've both been so solemn and anxious this evening. And I want us to have these last few moments of our lives together as joie de vivre, you know? I think I'm going to light a candle.
Well, that's a good idea.
We're going to be very bohemian. Just wait and watch the candle. Oh, dear. Oh, isn't it pretty? We're going to pretend that this is a little artist cafe on the left bank in Paris. Je suis la dame aux camélias. Vous êtes Armand. Do you understand French?
No, I don't understand French.
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? Oh, vous ne comprenez pas. Quel dommage. I mean, it's a damn good thing we found some liquor. Just enough for 2 shots without any dividends.
Oh, that's good.
Well, why don't you take off your coat and sit down?
Oh, I'd rather not.
I want you to be comfortable, Mitch.
Oh, no, my shirt is sticking to me. I'm ashamed of the way I perspire.
Well, perspiration is healthy. If people didn't perspire, they'd die in 5 minutes. Now, come on. Oh, this is a nice coat. What material is it?
Well, they call that stuff alpaca.
Alpaca?
It's very lightweight alpaca.
Lightweight alpaca.
Yeah, I don't like to wear a wash coat even in summer because I'll sweat right through it. And it don't look neat on me. A man as big as I has to be careful with what he wears. Otherwise, he'll look too clumsy.
Well, you're not that big.
Well, you don't think I am?
You're not the delicate type. You have a massive bone structure and a very imposing physique.
Well, I thank you. Last Christmas, I was given a membership to the New Orleans Athletic Club.
Oh.
It was the finest present I was ever given. I work out there with the weights, and I swim and I keep myself fit. When I first started, I was soft in the belly. But now my belly is hard. So hard that a man can punch me and it don't even hurt. Go on, you punch me. Come on, punch me, Blanche.
Gracious.
See? Blanche, how much do you think I weigh?
Oh, well, I'd say in the vicinity of 170 pounds.
Oh, no, guess again.
Oh, not that much.
No, more.
Well, you're a tall man, and you can carry a good deal of weight around without looking awkward.
Well, I'm 190 pounds, and I stand 6 feet 1 1/2 inches tall in my bare feet, without shoes on, and that is what I weigh stripped.
My goodness me, that's awe-inspiring.
Well, my weight is not a very interesting subject to talk about. What's yours?
My weight?
Why, yes.
Guess.
Let me lift you.
All right. Oh!
Why, you are light as a feather.
Well, you may release me now.
What?
I said unhand me, sir. Now, Mitch, just because Stan and Stella aren't here is no reason why you shouldn't act like a gentleman.
Well, you should just slap me when I step out of bounds.
That won't be necessary. You're a natural gentleman. One of the very few left in the world. Now, I don't want you to think that I'm severe or old-maid school-teacherish. It's just, well, I have old-fashioned ideals.
Where did Stanley and Stella go tonight?
They went out with Mr. and Mrs. Hubble upstairs.
But where did they go?
I think they were planning on taking in a midnight preview at Low State.
We should all go out together some night.
No. No, that would not be a good idea.
Well, why not?
You're an old friend of Stanley's.
We was together in the 241st.
I guess he talks to you pretty frankly, huh?
Well, sure.
What has he said to you about me?
Well, he hasn't said much.
When you say that, I suspect that he has.
No, he hasn't said much.
But what he has said, what would you say his attitude toward me was?
Why did you ask? Well, don't you get along?
What do you think?
Well, I think he don't understand you.
Well, that's putting it mildly. He goes out of his way to offend me.
In which ways?
In every conceivable way.
He isn't nice to you?
Oh, he's insufferably rude.
I'm surprised to hear that.
Are you?
I don't see how anybody could be rude to you.
Well, it's a very frightful situation, you see. There's no privacy here. There's only these portieres between the two rooms, and he stalks through them in his bedclothes at night. And I have to ask him to shut the bathroom door. Now, that kind of commonness just isn't necessary. You probably wonder why I don't move out. Well, I'll tell you frankly. A school teacher's salary is hardly sufficient to make a living on. Why, I didn't save a penny last year, so that's why I had to come here. So much against my wishes, and so much against my brother-in-law's apparently so. Oh, of course he tells you how much he hates me.
I don't think he hates you.
He hates me? Oh, why does he insult me? Well, the first day I laid eyes on him, I said to myself, that man is my executioner. That man will destroy me unless I...
Blanche.
Yes, honey?
May I ask you a question?
Sure.
How old are you?
Why do you want to know my age?
Well, I told my mother about you, and she said, well, how old is Blanche?
You talked to your mother about me?
Yes.
Why?
Well, I told her that I liked you.
Were you sincere about that?
Oh, you know I was.
But why did she want to know my age?
Mother is sick.
Oh, I'm sorry, badly.
She may not live more than just a few more months. And she worries because I'm not settled. She wants to see me settled before.
Oh, you love her very much, don't you? I think you have a great capacity for devotion. You'll be lonely when she passes on. I know what that is.
To be lonely?
I love someone too. And the person I loved, I lost.
Did? A man?
He was a boy. Just a boy when I was a very young girl. I was 16 when I made the discovery. Love. It was like you suddenly turned a blinding light on something that had always been half in shadow. That's how it struck the world for me. But I was unlucky. Deluded. There was something different about this boy. A nervousness, a tenderness, a softness that wasn't like a man's, although it wasn't the least bit effeminate looking. Still, that thing was there. He came to me for help, but I didn't know that. I didn't know anything until after our death, when we'd run away and come back, and all I'd known was that I'd failed him in some mysterious way, and I wasn't able to give him the help he needed but couldn't speak of. He was in the quicksands clutching at me, but I wasn't holding him out. I was slipping in with him. But I didn't know that. I didn't know anything except I loved him unendurably. But then I found out. In the worst of all possible ways. By suddenly coming into a room that I thought was empty. Which wasn't empty, but had two people in it. The boy I'd married, and an older man who had been his friend for years. Afterwards, We pretended like nothing had been discovered. Yeah, we were very drunk and laughing, and we drove out to the Moonlight Casino. Why, we danced the Vesuviana. But then suddenly, in the middle of the dance, the boy I'd married broke away from me and ran out of the casino. A few moments later, a shot. I ran out, all ran and gathered around this terrible thing at the edge of the lake. I couldn't get near for the crowding. Somebody caught my arm. Don't go any closer. Come back. You don't want to see. See? See what? Then I heard voices say, Alan, the gray boy. He stuck a revolver into his mouth so that the back of his head was blown away. It was because on the dance floor, unable to stop myself, I'd suddenly said, I know. I saw. You disgust me. And then the searchlight, which had been turned on, the world was turned off again. And never for one moment since has there been any light stronger than that kitchen candle.
You need somebody, and I need somebody too. Could it be you and me, Blanche?
Oh, sometimes there's God so quickly.
What's all this stuff for?
Honey, it's Blanche's birthday.
She here?
In the bathroom.
Washing out some things.
I reckon so.
How long she been in there?
All afternoon.
Soaking in a hot tub. Temperature 100 on the nose, and she soaks in a hot tub.
Oh, she says it cools her off for the evening.
And you run out and get a Cokes, I suppose, and serve them to Her Majesty in the tub. And sit down here.
Stanley, I've got things to do.
Sit down. I've got the dope on your big sister, Stella.
Stanley, stop picking on Blanche.
That girl calls me common.
Lately, you've been doing all you think you can of to rub her the wrong way, Stanley. Blanche is sensitive. You've got to realize that Blanche and I grew up under very different circumstances than you did.
So I've been told, and told. You realize she's been feeding us a pack of lies here?
No, I don't, and I don't want to hear it.
Well, she has, however, but now the cat's out of the bag. I found out some things.
What? Things?
Things I suspected already, but now I got proof from the most reliable sources, which I have checked on.
Oh, hello, Stanley. Well, excuse me.
Some canary bird, huh?
Now, please, tell me quietly what you think you found out about my sister.
Lie number one. All the squeamishness she puts on, you should just know the line she's been feeding to Mitch. He thought she'd never been more than kissed by a fella. And you know Sister Blanche is no lily.
What have you heard and who from?
Our supply man down at the plant has been going through Laurel for years, and he knows all about her, and everyone else in the town of Laurel knows about her. She is as famous in Laurel as if she was the President of the United States, only she is not respected by any party. The supply man stops at a hotel called the Flamingo.
What about the Flamingo?
She stayed there too.
No, my sister stayed at Belgrave.
This was after the home place had slipped through her lily white fingers. She moved to the Flamingo, a second-class hotel which has the advantage of not interfering with the private social lives of the personalities there. Flamingo's used to all kinds of goings-on, but even the management of the Flamingo was impressed by Dame Blanche. In fact, they were so impressed, they requested her to turn in her room key, but permanently. This happened a couple of weeks before she showed here. Sure, I can see how you would be upset by this. She pulled the wool over your eyes as much as Mitch's.
It's pure invention. There's not a word of truth in it, Stan.
Honey, I told you, I checked on every single story. The problem with Dame Blanche was she couldn't put her act on in Lowell anymore. After 2 or 3 dates with her, they wised up and quit. And she went on to another. Same old line, same old act, same old hooey. But this town was too small to go on forever. As time went by, she became the town character, regarded as not just different, but downright loco. Nuts. She's been washed up like poison for the last year or two. That's why she's here this summer, visiting royalty, putting on all this act. She was practically told by the mayor to get out of town. Yes, did you know there's an armor camp near Laurel, and your sister's is one of the places called Out of Bounds? Well, so much for her being such a refined and particular type of girl. Which brings us to lie number 2.
I don't want to hear anymore.
She didn't resign temporarily because of her nerves. No siree Bob, she didn't. She was kicked out before the spring term ended. And I hate to tell you the reason that step was taken. A 17-year-old boy she's gotten mixed up with. And when the boy's dad learned about it, he got in touch with the high school superintendent. I'd have loved to be in that office when Dame Blanche was caught on the carpet. I'd have loved to see her try to squirm out of that one. But they had the hook good and proper that time, and she knew the jig was all up. They told her she better move on to some fresh territory. It was practically a town ordinance passed against her.
Stella!
Yes, Blanche.
Oh, could you get another towel for me? I was just washing my hands. What's the matter, honey?
Matter? Why?
You have such a strange expression on your face.
Guess I'm a little tired, honey.
Well, you should take a hot bath as soon as I get out.
How soon is that going to be, Blanche?
Not so terribly long. Possess your soul and patience, Stanley.
It's not my soul, it's my kidneys I'm worried about. Well, what do you think of it?
Don't believe all those stories. And I think your supply man was mean and rotten to tell them. It's possible that some of the things he said are partly true. My sister was always flighty.
Yeah, flighty.
But when she was young, very young, she married a boy who wrote poetry. He was extremely good looking. I think Blanche didn't just love him, but worshiped the ground he walked on. Adored him and thought him almost too fine to be human. But then she found out.
What?
That this handsome and talented young man was somehow different. Didn't your supply man give you that information?
All we discussed was recent history. That must have been a pretty long time ago.
Yes, it was. Pretty long time ago.
How many candles you sticking in that cake?
I'll stop at 25.
Is company expected?
Yes, we asked Mitch over for cake and ice cream.
Don't expect Mitch over tonight.
Why?
Stella, Mitch is a buddy of mine. We worked in the same outfit together, 241st Engineers, in the same plant, now on the same bowling team.
Stanley Kowalski, did you repeat what that man said?
You're damn right I told him. I'd have that on my conscience for the rest of my life if I knew all that stuff and let my best friend get caught.
Is Mitch through with her?
Well, wouldn't you be?
I said, is Mitch through with her?
No, not exactly through with her, just wised up.
Oh, Stanley. Blanche thought he was going to marry her, and I was hoping so too.
Well, he's not going to marry her now.
Oh,
maybe he was, but there's no way he's going to jump into a tank with a school of sharks. Blanche! Oh, Blanche, can I please get in my bathroom?
Oh, yes, indeed, sir. Could you wait 1 second while I apply?
Having waited 1 hour, I guess 1 second ought to pass in a hurry.
She hasn't got a job. What'll she do?
She's not staying here after Tuesday. You know that, don't you? Just to make sure, I bought her ticket myself. A bus ticket.
In the first place, Blanche wouldn't go on a bus.
She'll go on a bus and like it.
No, she won't. No, she won't, Stanley.
She'll go, period. P.S. She'll go Tuesday.
What'll she do? What on earth will she do?
Her future is mapped out for her.
What do you mean?
Hey, Toots! Canary bird, get out of the bathroom!
Oh, I feel so good and refreshed after my long, hot bath.
Do you, Blanche?
Yeah, I do. A long, hot bath and a cool drink always gives me such a good outlook on life. What's happened, Stella? What's going on?
Nothing's happened, Blanche.
You're lying. Something has. Stood up before in all my experience with men, and I've had all sorts, but I don't know how to take it really. But Stanley, couldn't you just say something funny, something to help us out?
I think you liked my stories, Blanche.
Well, I like them when they're amusing, but not indecent.
I don't have any refined enough for your taste.
Well, then let me tell one.
Yes, Blanche, you tell one. You used to know lots of good stories.
Well, I must run through my repertoire. Oh, I've got one. Do you like parrot stories? I love parrot stories. Well, this one's about the old maid and the parrot. You see, this old maid had a parrot that cursed a blue streak and knew more vulgar expressions than Mr. Kowalski. Well, anyway, the only way to keep this parrot quiet was to put a black cover over his cage so he would think it was night and go back to sleep. Well, one day, the old maid had just uncovered the parrot for the day, when who should she see coming up the front walk but the preacher? Well, she ran back to the cage and put the cover on him, and then she let the preacher in. Everything was silent then, and the parrot was just as quiet as a mouse. But then, just as she was asking how much sugar the preacher wanted in his coffee, the parrot broke the silence with, "God damn, but that was a short day." Don't you love that stuff? Apparently, Mr. Kowalski was not amused.
Mr. Kowalski is too busy making a pig of himself to think of anything else. Your face and fingers are disgustingly greasy. Now go wash up, then help me clear this table.
That's how I'll clear my place. Don't you ever talk to me like that. Pig, Pollock, disgusting, vulgar, greasy. Them words have been on your tongue and your sister's too much around here. What do you two think you are? A pair of queens? Remember what Hubert Long said, every man is a king and I am the king around here, so don't you forget it. My place is clear. You want me to clear your places?
No. Stella, what did he tell you while I was bathing? Nothing. I think he knows my Mitch didn't come, but you're not telling me.
No.
I'm gonna call him.
I wouldn't call him, Blanche.
I expect to be given some explanation from somebody.
I hope you're pleased with your doing. I've never had so much trouble swallowing food in my entire life. Looking at that girl's face in the empty chair.
Yes, Mr. Mitchell, please. Oh, well, could you leave a message for me then? Yes, tell him to call me at Magnolia 9047. And tell him it's very important. Thank you.
Stale, it's gonna be all right again once she goes and you've had your baby. It's gonna be all right between you and me the way that it was. Remember that way that it was? And the nights we had together? God, honey, it's gonna be sweet when we can make some noise in the night again and get the colored lights going with nobody's sister behind the curtains to hear us.
Come back, Andrew. Blanche. Yes. Oh, those are such pretty candles, Stella. Oh, no, don't burn them, no. You should save them for baby's birthdays. I hope he's going to have lots of candles in his life. In fact, I hope that his eyes are going to be like 2 blue candles in a white cake.
What poetry.
I shouldn't have called him.
There's lots of things that could have happened.
No, I don't deserve to be treated like this, Stella. I won't be taken for granted.
Hey, Blanche, you know it's hot in here with the steam from the bathroom.
I said I was sorry 3 times. I take baths for my nerves. Hydrotherapy, they call it. Of course, you Polak without a nerve in your body, of course you don't know what anxiety feels like.
I am not a Polak. People from Poland are Poles, not Polacks. But what I am is 100% American, born and raised in the greatest country on earth and proud as hell of it. So don't you ever call me a Polak.
Oh, that's for me, I'm sure it is.
I'm not sure, you just keep your seat. Hello? Oh yeah, hello, Mac.
Oh, get your hands off me, Stella. Why are you looking at me like that with such a pitying look?
Will you shut up in there? No, we got a noisy woman on the place, Mac. Go ahead. At Riley's? No, I don't want to bowl at Riley's. I had some trouble with Riley last week. I'm the team captain, ain't I? All right, then, we're not going to bowl at Riley's. We're going to bowl at the west side of the gala. Right, see you, Mac. Sister Blanche, I have a little birthday remembrance for you.
Do you, Stanley? I wasn't expecting any.
I hope you like it.
Why, it's a...
A ticket back to Laurel on the Greyhound Tuesday.
Didn't need to do that.
Don't forget all I took off her.
You needn't be so cruel to someone as alone as she is.
Yeah, delicate piece she is.
She is. She was. You didn't know Blanche as a girl. Nobody was as tender and as trusting as she was. But people like you abused her and forced her to change. Do you think you're going bowling now?
Sure.
You're not going bowling. Why'd you do this to her?
Let go of my shirt. You've torn it.
I want to know why. Tell me why!
When me and you first met, baby, you thought I was common. How right you was. I was common as dirt. You showed me a snapshot of that place with the columns. I pulled you down off them columns and how you loved it with them colored lights going. And wasn't we happy? Wasn't everything okay until she showed here? And wasn't we happy? Wasn't everything okay until she showed here, hoity-toity describing me like an ape? Now, what is it, Stale? Did I hurt you? What's the matter, baby?
Take me to the hospital.
Oh, who is it, please?
Me, Mitch.
Oh, hello, Mitch. You know, I really shouldn't let you in after the treatment I've received this evening. So utterly uncavalier. so beautiful. My, what a cold shoulder. And such uncouth apparel. Why, you haven't even shaved. But I forgive you. I forgive you because it's a relief to see you. You stopped that horrible polka tune that was playing in my head. Oh, have you ever had anything all forgotten in your hair? Oh, of course not, you dumb angel puss. Of course you haven't. Well, I don't know what we have in the way of liquor. I haven't...
I don't want none of Stan's liquor.
It isn't Stan's! Some things on the premises are actually mine. How's your mother? Isn't she well?
Why?
There's something different tonight. But don't worry, I won't cross-examine the witness. I'll just pretend... Oh, that music again!
What music?
That polka tune they were playing when Alan... There, a shot. It always stops after that. Oh, yes, it stopped now.
Are you boxed out of your mind?
I'll go see what we have in the way of liquor. And excuse me for not being properly dressed, but I'd practically given up on you. Had you forgotten your invitation to supper?
I wasn't gonna see you no more.
Oh, be quiet, honey. I can't hear what you're saying, and you speak so seldom that when you do, I don't want to miss a syllable. What am I looking around here for? Oh, liquor, that's right. Now, let me see. Oh, no. Oh, here's something. Jack Daniels. Oh, get your cover off that bed, honey. There's a clean cover on it. I've done so much of this place since I've been here. Of course, you boys don't notice things like that.
I bet you have.
Well, you saw it before I came. Look at it now. This room is almost dainty.
Aren't you leaving pretty soon now?
I wonder if this stuff ought to be mixed with something. Oh, it's sweet. It's terribly sweet. Why, I believe it's a liqueur. Oh, yes, that's what it is, a liqueur. Oh, I don't know if you like it, but try it, maybe you will.
I told you already. I don't want none of his liquor, and I mean it. You ought to lay off his liquor. He says you've been lapping it up all summer like a wild cat.
What a fantastic statement. Fantastic of him to say it and fantastic of you to repeat it. I won't descend to such levels of cheap accusations to answer them even. What's wrong? I see something in your eyes.
It's dark in here.
I like the dark. The dark is comforting to me.
I've never seen you in the light, and that's a fact.
Is it?
I've never seen you in the afternoon.
Well, that's your fault, Mitch.
You never want to go out in the afternoon.
You're the plans in the afternoon,
Not
Mitch.
Sunday afternoon. And then you don't want to go out till after 6. And then it's to some place that's not lighted much.
There's some obscure meaning in this, but I'm failing to catch
The
it.
meaning is, I've never had a good look at you. Let's turn on the light.
What light? What for?
How about that one right there with the paper thing on it?
Oh, no! No, what did you do that for?
So I can take a look at you, good and plain.
Of course you don't mean to be insulting.
No, just realistic.
I don't want realism. I want magic.
Magic?
Yes, magic. I try to give that to people. I do misrepresent things to them. I don't tell the truth. I tell what ought to be the truth. And if that's a sin, then let me be damned for it. But don't turn on that light.
I don't mind you being older than you said you were. But oh, Christ! All that push about your ideas being old-fashioned and the malarkey you've been dishing out all summer. Well, I knew you wasn't 16 anymore, but I was fool enough to believe that you were straight.
Who told you I wasn't straight? My loving brother-in-law? And you believed him?
No, I didn't. But then I checked on it. First with our supply man, and then I talked directly long distance to this merchant.
Well, who is this merchant?
Keyfober.
The merchant Keyfober. I know the man. He whistled at me and I put him in his place. So now for revenge he makes up stories about me.
3 people.
Oh,
Keyfober, Stanley, and Shaw all swore to it. Did you not stay at a hotel called Flamingo?
Flamingo? No. Tarantula. I stayed at a hotel called the Tarantula Arms.
Tarantula Arms?
Yes, a big spider. That's where I brought my victims. Yes, I had many intimacies with strangers. After the death of Alan's, intimacies with strangers was all I was able to keep my empty heart filled with. It was just panic that drove me from one to another, searching for some kind of protection in the most unlikely places, even at last in a 17-year-old boy. But somebody notified the superintendent. This woman is morally unfit for her position. True? Yes, I suppose. True somehow. Anyway, so I came here. There was nowhere else I could go. I was played out. Do you know what played out means? It means my youth was gone up the water spout. But then I met you. You said you needed somebody. Well, I needed somebody too. I thanked God for you because you seemed to be gentle. A cleft in the rock of the world that I could cling to. But I was asking, hoping too much. Keith Arbor, Stanley, and Shaw tied an old tin can to the tail of my kite.
You lied to me, Blanche.
Don't say I lied to you.
Lies, lies, inside and out.
Never inside. I never lied to you in my heart. Believe me, I was true as God to you in my heart. Always. I lived in a house where dying old women remembered their dead men. I used to sit here, and Mother would sit there, and death was as close as you are. Death. The opposite is desire. So what do you want?
What I've been missing all summer.
Oh, then marry me, Mitch.
No. You're not clean enough to bring into a house with my mother.
Go away, then. Get out of here, quick, before I start screaming fire! Get out of here, quick, before I start screaming fire! 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 Your head from buzzing. But you've got to be careful and dive where the deep pool is, or else you won't come up till the morning. Oh, my goodness me. They're playing good night, ladies. Could I rest my weary head on your shoulder? It's so comforting.
Hiya, Blanche.
Oh, how's Stella?
She's doing okay.
And how's the baby?
Well, the baby won't be here till morning, so they told me to go home and get a little shut-eye.
Does that mean we ought to be alone in here together?
Yep, just you and me, Blanche. And what have you got those fine feathers on for?
Oh, that's right. You left before my wire came.
Well, you got a wire.
Yes, I received an invitation.
Anything good?
Well, I think so.
What to?
A cruise of the Caribbean on a yacht.
Well, well, what do you know?
It was such a surprise to me.
I guess so.
It came just like a bolt out of the blue.
Who did you say this was from?
An old beau of mine.
The one that gave you the fox pieces.
Mr. Shep Hudley. I was Ethiopian my last year at college. Well, I hadn't seen him again until last Christmas, and then this wire came inviting me on a cruise of the Caribbean. Well, the problem was clothes. I tore into my trunk to see what I had that's suitable for the tropics.
And came up with that gorgeous diamond tiara?
Oh, this old relic? It's only rhinestones.
Gosh, I thought it was Tiffany's diamonds.
Well, anyhow, I shall be entertained in style.
It just goes to show you never know what's coming.
Yes, just when I thought my luck had begun to fail me.
Into the picture pops this Miami millionaire.
Oh, this man is not from Miami. This man is from Dallas.
Oh, this man is from Dallas.
Yes, he's from Dallas, where gold practically spouts out of the ground.
Just so he's from somewhere.
Please close the curtains before you undress any further.
This is all I'm going to undress. For now. Seen a bottle opener anywhere? I had a cousin once could open beer bottles with his teeth. That was his only accomplishment, all he could do. He was just a human bottle opener. Then one time, at a wedding party, broke his 2 front teeth off. After that, he was so ashamed of himself, he used to sneak out of the house whenever company came over. Rain from heaven. What do you say, Blanche? Shall we bury the hatchet and call the loving cup?
No, thank you.
Oh, get with it, Blanche.
What are you doing in here?
Here's something I break out on special occasions like these. The red silk pajamas I wore on my wedding night. And when the phone rings and they say, "You've got a son," I'll tear this off and wave it around like a flag. I guess we are both entitled to put on the dog. You having an oil millionaire and me having a baby.
When I think of how divine it's going to be to have such a thing as privacy again, I could just weep with joy.
This millionaire from Dallas is not going to interfere with your privacy, Annie?
It's not going to be the sort of thing you have in mind. This man is a gentleman. He respects me. What he desires is my companionship. Great wealth can sometimes make a man lonely. But a cultivated woman, a woman of intelligence and breeding, can enrich a man's life immeasurably. Physical beauty is passing, a transitory possession. The beauty of the mind and richness of the soul and tenderness of the heart, I have all those things to offer, and time doesn't take them away, but makes them grow and increase with the years. How foolish that I should be called a destitute woman when I have all these treasures locked away in my heart. I think I'm a very, very, very rich woman, but I've been foolish, casting my pearls before...
Swine, huh?
Yes, swine, and it's not only you I'm thinking of, it's also your friend Mr. Mitchell. He came to see me tonight. He dared to come in here in his work clothes and repeat slander to me, vicious stories he had gotten from you. Well, I gave him his walking papers.
Oh, you did, huh?
Yes, but then he returned. He came back with a box of roses begging for my forgiveness. Oh, he implored my forgiveness. But some things are not forgivable. Deliberate cruelty is not forgivable. It is the one unforgivable thing in my opinion, and it is the one thing of which I have never been guilty. So I said to him, this is what I said. Thank you, but I was foolish to think we could ever adapt ourselves to each other. Our ways of life are much too different. Our backgrounds are incompatible. We have to be realistic about such things. So farewell, my friend, and let there be no hard feelings.
And was this before or after the telegram came from Texas?
What telegram? Oh, as a matter of fact, the wire came just
As a matter of fact, there wasn't no wire at all. There isn't no millionaire, and Mitch didn't come back here with no roses, because I know where he is. There's nothing here but imagination and lies and conceit and tricks. Just look at yourself in that worn-out Mardi Gras outfit, rented for 50 cents from some rag picker, and with that crazy crown on. What kind of a queen do you think you are? I've been on to you since the start. Never once did you pull the wool over this boy's eyes. You come in here and sprinkle powder and spray perfume and put paper lanterns on the light bulbs, and lo and behold, it is Egypt, and you are the queen of the Nile, sitting on your throne, swilling down my liquor. Well, I say to you, ha, ha, do you hear me? Ha, ha, ha!
Operator, yes, get a long distance. I want to get in touch with Mr. Shep Huntley. No, he doesn't require an address. He's, well, I couldn't possibly find it right now. No, please wait, please understand, I can't. Operator, forget long distance. I want Western Union. Yes, get me Western Union. We'll take down this message. in desperate, desperate circumstances. Help me. Caught in a trap. Caught in a...
Oh, you left the phone off the hook.
Let me get by you.
Get by me? Sure, go right ahead.
You stand over there.
You got plenty of room to walk by me now.
Not with you there. I'll find a way out. I've got to find a way out.
You think I'm gonna interfere with you? Come to think of it, maybe you wouldn't be bad to interfere with.
Oh, don't come towards me another step, Rod.
What?
Oh, some awful thing will happen. It will.
What are you putting on now?
I'm warning you. I'm in danger.
There, boy.
Oh, so I could hit you with it.
Bet you would do that.
I would if you promised.
You want some rough-outs? Let's have some rough-outs, Tiger. We've had to stick with each other since the beginning. Inside straight and made it, by God.
Maldito sea tu suerto.
Put it in English.
I'm
goofball.
cursing your rotten luck.
You know what luck is? Luck is believing you're lucky. Take it Solano. I believed I was lucky. I figured 4 out of 5 would not come through, but I would, and I did. I put that down as a rule. To hold a front position in this rat race, you got to believe you're lucky.
You brag, bull.
What's the matter with him?
I always did say men were such careless things with no feelings. But this does beat anything. Making pigs of yourselves.
What's the matter with her? Well, come on, let's play.
How's my baby? Is he demanding his supper?
Sleeping like a little angel. I brought you some grapes.
Bless him. I just can't help it when I'm not in the same room with him.
You better leave him upstairs with me until you know what gets settled. Where is she?
In the bathroom.
And how is she?
She wouldn't eat anything but ask for a drink.
And what did you tell her?
I just told her we made arrangements for her to settle in the country.
Stella?
She's... Yes, please.
If anyone calls while I'm bathing, take down the number and tell them I'll call them right back.
Yes, please.
And then, Stella, that ivory silk, the one with the fringe, see if it's crushed. If it's not crushed, I'll wear it. And on it, I'll wear that silver and turquoise pin in the shape of a seahorse. You'll find them in my accessories box. And Stella, try to locate that little bunch of artificial violets to wear on the shawl with the pin.
I just don't know if I did the right thing.
What else could you do?
I couldn't believe her story and then go on living with Stanley.
Don't ever believe it. You gotta keep on going. No matter what happens, we've all gotta keep on going.
Yes, I know.
Stella,
Yes, Blanche.
is the coast clear?
Yes.
Close the curtains before I come out.
They're closed.
I just washed my hair.
Did you?
I'm not sure if I got the soap out of it. Such lovely hair. It's a problem. Didn't I get a call?
From whom?
Check Putney.
I know. Not yet, honey.
How strange. I thought that he would call me.
Mitch, come too.
What's going on here? I want an explanation. What's going on? Why are you two looking at me like that? Is there something wrong with me?
Blanche, you look wonderful. Doesn't she look wonderful?
Yes, you look wonderful, Blanche. Help me get dressed, you two. Come on now, help me. That's what I wanted, you know. Okay. Such a lovely white shawl.
Oh, it's ivory colored, right, honey?
I'm colorblind as a bat. Sit me up, one of you.
Okay, honey.
Are these grapes washed? Huh?
Washed, I said. Are they washed?
Well, honey, they're from the French market.
That doesn't mean they've been washed.
There's
clean thing left in the quarter. Well, I'm going now. I'm ready to go.
She's gonna leave before they get here.
Wait, Blanche. Don't want to pass in front of those men.
Well, then, honey, wait till the game breaks up.
Yes, Blanche, sit
Oh,
down.
I can smell the sea. My element was the earth, but it should have been the water. Water, the blessedest thing that God created in those 7 days. I'm going to spend the rest of my days on the sea, and when I die, I shall die on the sea. You know what I shall die of? I shall die of eating an unwashed grape. Oh, yes. One day out on the summer, I shall die with my hand in the hand of a good-looking ship's doctor. A very young one with a small blonde mustache and a big silver watch. Poor lady, they'll say. The quinine did her no good. That single unwashed grape has transported her soul to heaven. And I shall be buried at sea, all sewn up in a clean white sack and dropped overboard at noon in the blaze of summer and into an ocean as blue as the blue of my first lover's eyes. Must be them.
Doctor?
Yes.
Just a minute.
What is it?
Excuse me while I see who's at the door.
I wonder if it could be for me.
Yes, someone is calling for Blanche.
Well, is it the gentleman I was expecting from Dallas?
Yes, I think it is.
I'm not quite ready.
Ask him to wait outside.
She'll be here in a minute.
She'll be here in a minute.
Everything packed? My toilet articles are still out still. I'll get them.
They're waiting in the front of the house.
They? Who's they?
There's a lady with them.
Well, I wonder who this lady could be. How is she dressed?
Oh, just in sort of a plain tailored outfit.
Possibly she's the...
Shall we go, Blanche?
Yes. But must we go through that room?
I'll go with you.
How do I look?
Lovely.
Lovely.
Please don't get up. I'm only passing through. You are not the gentleman I was expecting. This man isn't Chef Huntley.
Did you forget something, Blanche?
Oh, yes, I forgot something in there, Blanche.
She says she forgot something.
That's all right.
What did you forget, Blanche?
Well, it don't matter. We can pick it up later.
Sure, we can send it along with the trunk.
I don't know you. I just want to be left alone, please.
All you left here was spilled talcum and empty perfume bottles. Unless it's the lantern you want. You want the lantern?
No! Eunice, help me. They're not going to hurt her, are they?
No.
Don't let them hurt her.
Stay here with me. Don't look. You just stay here with me. Don't go in
What
there.
have I done to my sister? What have I done to her?
Honey, you've done the right thing. She hasn't
No,
leave you.
Eunice, I
You
can't.
stay here.
You've done this. You and you're running around. Why? Why did you do this?
These fingernails will have to be trimmed. Jacket, doctor?
Not unless necessary. Miss Dubois, it won't be necessary.
Please make her let go of me.
Yes, let her go.
Whoever you are, I have always depended on the kindness of strangers. Blanche. Blanche. Blanche.
Hey, Stella. Now, honey. Now, love, come on.
All right, boys. This game is 7-card stud.